Okay, playing another game. Playing Tester Intro Cert. That's interesting. Ooh, are we going to get another Bird's Defense? Hopefully we could get another Bird's Defense. Okay, no Bird's Defense. No Bird's Defense, no Bird's Defense. G3, this is a Glek system. Big old Glek. Taking on D5 here. Taking on C3. This is classic Soviet strategy. And by Soviet strategy, it was written by a Greek guy in 2016. Really good book, Nikolaus Natyrlis. I gotta release that game review, or not the game review. I gotta release the book review at some point. It's a very long video. It's taking a lot of time to edit. It's a very long process. All right, Rook B1. Why can't I just play E4 here? Normally, the classic response to E4 is D4, but here I would take and take again. Yeah, we're gonna do it. E4, this looks fantastic. Bro definitely slipped on a banana peel with this one. Man plays knight e1, we'll just play f5. He could play d4 then. But I'm just not gonna... I actually don't need to even observe that threat yet because the deep pawn will be pinned. Man, I'm starving. I really hope I can eat some steak tonight. I'm in this random town now. This tiny little village. Tiny little village in Brazil. Okay, there. That's interesting. All right, wait. Okay, if I take with the bishop, then he's going to get bishop b2 with the critical tempo. Takes, queen takes. He's going to play bishop b2, but I think I can play queen a4 there. Do not want to play queen d5 because d3 is going to pin me. We'll just take here. I could have also tried f5, but I like holding on to the pawn. I'm a greedy boy. Bishop b2, queen a4. Queen is actually very well placed there. Queen is perfectly fine there. All right. Queen a4, perfectly legitimate. I really like this idea. You put your queen just next to an open file. It turns out to be very good there. I call it the window to the board. Queen h5. What is bro doing? Ooh, that is dangerous stuff. Bro's got a lot of threats. Bro's threatening queen g5. He's also threatening queen takes c5. Let's play bishop e7 to get back. Now if he takes on g7 and king takes, he's not getting a perpetual with queen g5. Yeah, got to be very careful here. Queen e5. That's a good idea. Bro's finding a lot of good moves. Let's play bishop f6 here. He's taking. Okay, can I take on a2? No, we got to take this way. Got to take that way. Here we play bishop h3. I've never seen such a position before. Yeah, okay, let's... Wait, what am I going to do? This looks like it's headed for a draw, which I don't want it to be. I do not want it to be a draw here. I want to win this game. Bishop h3, rook e1. Yeah, bishop h3, rook e1. If I play rook e8 there, I could take actually first. If I take and then rook takes and then rook e8. He takes on b7. I play f5. Bishop d5 check. That doesn't really work. All right, we're going to take here. I'm going to slowly try to outplay this guy from this position, but this looks very drawish. This looks extremely drawish, honestly. But you know, you live and you learn, and you never know. Dude, I'm starving. I'm literally so hungry. I'm getting starved in this house that I'm in at the moment. I'm getting starved alive. Rook e8 attacking this position. I don't know what's happening here. Like, maybe I'm slightly worse because I technically took on these pawns, but I'm just trying to slowly outplay the guy. Let's play bishop. Well, wait, bishop h3. He's going to play rook b1. Let's just keep on playing slow. I just want to keep playing slow, being patient. If I could, I would love to install my bishop on c4. Looks like a decent square. If he pushes the c-pawn, bishop f5 could be good to keep his rooks off the double. Off the double. Okay, that's an interesting move. This is very interesting now. I don't think he has any pressure yet. We'll play a5 here. I want to gain some space, and also I want to introduce ideas of just moving the rook out this way. Just continuing to be patient here, continuing to play slow. I definitely don't prefer this type of chess, but I did have to get good at this type of chess, like this really type of bland, drawish grinding to get to Grandmaster, so I'm certainly no novice at it. We'll play a4 here. He should play a3 to fix a pawn on the light score, but I don't see how we would target it just yet. And my rook is slowly getting out. All right, here. F6 looks good, but actually, no, let's play rook a5 first. He doesn't have any tricks here. Bishop c6 doesn't do anything. Takes rook b8, I can always play rook e8. There, okay, now we're going to play f6. Starting to make positional improvements here. He should play for c4 and d5. Maybe I should play rook d7 then, but no, rook d7, bishop g4. We got to be careful here. Man should play c4, but no, c4, then I also have bishop f5. Interesting stuff. Rook b4. Okay, we'll just keep on improving. I don't think he has any way to target this just yet. If he plays rook c4, I could play bishop e6. This is tricky. I guess he's trying c5. I could play rook d7, d5, c5. What is that position? What is that position there? Well, rook d7, bishop g4 also. There are a lot of problems in this position. Can I play rook e1, though? Why haven't I been playing rook e1? This is really bizarre stuff. Yeah, I'm just going to play rook e1. Maybe something will happen here. Maybe I have some ghost of a trick with bishop h3. I don't yet see what the problem is here. d5, I could even just... No, I can't take d5. I'll play c5, push the rook back, and maybe play for rook c1. Very strange stuff at the moment. I'm not really sure what's going on here. c5, d5, or sorry, d5, c5. We do not want to take here because then bishop is going to take. We'll play c5 here. Where's this rook moving? If I could blockade this d6 square, I'd be in business, but the real risky part is that I have no way to blockade that square. Very, very weird position at the moment. Man plays rook b2. We could play rook a6. Rook b5. Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm in a lot of trouble here. I'm in enormous trouble in this position. I've fallen and I can't get up. Yeah, no, something went drastically wrong in this game. He's gonna take this pawn. He has enormous pressure now. We'll play, yeah, let's play king e7. If he takes, I'm gonna play bishop d7. Maybe I have some tricks. I really don't know. This is about to get really messy. Okay, we'll play bishop d7 here. Have to play bishop d7. Rook c7, king d6 takes. I think I'm gonna play rook c1, rook c3. Maybe I'm okay there. This is really messy stuff. Like, I'm down 2 pawns, but at least now I have really good harmony with everything. Like, once I at least blockade the dark squares, then we got some harmony. You know what I mean? Rook a5, we play b6, rook a6, rook b1. Things are harmonious there. So yeah, unfortunately, because he's threatening bishop g4, I have to sacrifice a second pawn. That's what makes this really risky. But he's going to take here. We're going to play rook c1. I'm not sold on how bad this is. For instance, like, if I can win this pawn, I might even be better. Because I got a full blockade on the dark squares. And, yeah, another thing as well is that he's going to have a really hard time defending this a-pawn. I just wanted to get him a little more passive first. Like, if he plays bishop e2, I'm going to play rook c2. If he plays king f3, then I can play rook c3 and win the pawn in style. I'm just chilling. All I've eaten today was an omelet. All right, we'll play... What are we going to play here? We play king c7. No, he's going to play rook b4 next. Let's play king c5. Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything. If he plays rook b7, I can just go back to d6. If he plays rook b4, I can even take. There? All right, does he want to draw? Bro wants to secure a draw? Is bro serious? I didn't think he would want to draw here. Yeah, rook b4, that makes more sense. But now we play rook c3. I'm going to hunt this pawn down. Now he's in some trouble here. Another threat is rook b3. Look at that. Even though I'm down 2 pawns, I'm going to have a passed pawn. I have my king supporting it. Things are okay, guys. Things are looking up. This is the GM Raven show. Yeah, bro wants to cash out for a draw. King c5, rook b7, king d6. Okay, well, let's see what he's up to. Let's see what he's up to first. If he plays rook b7, I'll play king d6. If he throws in a check, I go here. That's a very tricky position, honestly. Because he's going to play c5. Oh, wait, no, what am I talking about? Yeah, rook b6, king c7. Maybe does he even play bishop e2 here? I think he has bishop e2 because rook takes a3, then he has c5. Yeah, I messed this up. I don't think I should have played it this way. Bishop e2. I should have just played king c7 back here. Hopefully he goes for the draw with rook b6. Gives us another chance to strive for greatness. Dude, I'm starving. What's he going to do? What's he on about? Bishop e2. He should play bishop e2 here. Bro needs to stop dilly-dallying in the cabbage patch and make up his mind. All right, rook b6. Okay, he's going back. Now I'm going to play king c7, though. You don't have to ask me twice. If he plays rook a6, we're taking on c4. Uh-oh. Wait, actually, oh, that would have been bananas. Look at that. Rook a6. If he played rook a6 and I played rook c4, he checks. If I go back to either of these scores he has made, I would have to go to d8. That was a close one. Yeah, rook a6 would have been a problem. Here we play rook b3, though. I think I'm winning after rook b3, right? Rook b3, we're going to take here. So he has to take, play c5. We play b2. He plays bishop e4. I play g6. And rook b3 takes. Bishop e4, I play b2. Or no, wait, bishop e4, I play g6. King f3, b2, king e2. Bishop f5 takes... Yeah, I'm winning that. All right, we'll play rook b3. Hopefully I didn't miscalculate here. I think I'm winning. I think he has to sack 2 pawns just to get out alive. Because if we do any type of trade, I'm getting a passed pawn here. He could also play bishop e4, let me take, and then get his bishop to a2, but that's a very tricky position. Well, there? Well, no, now I take here. What's bro doing? He's going to throw in a check. Well, no, wait. If he throws in a check, look at this. This is bananas. Wait, which way are we going to go? We need to go one of these ways. We'll play king d8. All right. I'm honestly not calculating. I should be calculating, but I'm not calculating. Takes, we're going to play bishop e6, and I'm going to push my a-pawn down the board. He's going to play b5. I'll play a3, b6. Then we play king c8. Oh, that's bananas. Wait, maybe I'm losing there. b5, a3, b6, bishop c8, c6. I'm losing. My king had to go to b8. I made the mistake. Guys, I made a huge mistake. Uh-oh. Yeah, no, my king, yeah, I'm losing. This is crazy. I'm definitely losing. It's a sad fate. I got it wrong. Bro should be pushing b6. The only way I could win is if he makes a mistake here, but it's... Yeah. Guys, I slipped on a banana peel. I've fallen and I can't get up. See, okay, he's... Is this really happening? If he checks, I play king d7. All of a sudden, he could have played b6. b6, a2, b7. All right. Yeah, wait, he's winning even here. I have literally nothing to do. He plays b7. That's... What is he doing? Bro is literally, like, doing his best to mess this up. Okay, I'll play king e8. He's just going to have more checks. We'll play king d7 here. I don't know why he's playing it this way. He definitely did not have to. All right, wait. If I check and take and then queen f1, no, that's not going to work. I don't have any way to do anything. I literally have not a ghost of a trick here. Maybe we could try bishop c4. I don't have a ghost of a trick. If I take, yeah. All right, we'll play queen c3. I'm just dead lost here, though. This is bananas. I'm just completely lost. Hopefully he pushes. If he pushes, maybe we have some trick, but... Yeah, I got bamboozled here. All right, we'll take here. He has several mates. This is also mate. That's bananas. All right, I'm resigning. That was a good game on his part. Let's look at this briefly. I think I just chose the wrong direction. I have to start calculating. I'm very lazy. Takes. Oh man, this is shameful, honestly. Like even here, I could just push. If he does this, I have bishop c6. Oh, that's depressing. But even here, like takes, dude, that's insane. This is not a simple position to win. This is not simple in the slightest because his king is very strong, or his king is just very well protected. Yeah, I'm honestly not even sure who's better here. Because, yeah, like if I play queen, I think I have to play queen a6, so if he pushes, I can take with a check, but he goes back somewhere. I play queen d5, b7. I think I'm still... No, I have to play king d7 here. This is a mess. This is a complete mess. I don't see how either side is going to make progress here. My queen can't really move anywhere, and I can never get my king closer to this pawn. All right. Well, why am I getting black every single game? This is ridiculous. This is literally the third straight game I've gotten black. Okay, well, at least we're getting e4, e5, though. That's good. Hopefully we can get a bird's defense. Nice. Another bird's defense. Perfect day for a bird's defense. Okay, d3. Nice. We're going to get the Christmas tree. Play bishop c4. Yes. Yes. All right, bishop e3, a5. I love this position. This is like my favorite position in bird's defense. Just keep pushing him back and play rook a6 like a madman. This is beautiful. All right, I don't even know what's happening here, but we gotta transfer the rook over before anything else. This is bananas. I'm gonna try to put the bishops on e6, d6, put the knight on f6, fling the h pawn forward. Got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff going. There. All right, we'll play bishop e6, man. I don't have a ghost of a worry in this position. There. That's a good move, actually. Man is trying to double down. But we're going to play knight f6. Keep him out of the cabbage patch. Say no to intruders in the cabbage patch. Bro could try bishop f4, e5. Honestly, I need to study this position in a lot more detail, but it looks very interesting, though. That's why I always play it. Bishop f4, h5, bishop e5. I'll play queen b6 there. No, then he's going to take on... Well, yeah, if he takes on f6, I take with the rook. This is very weird. Queen b6 is an extremely annoying move, though. Wait, I should think about doing that as soon as possible. I guess I would be hanging d5, though, so we need to choose the right time to do it. Another thing as well here is that this queen is actually going to be very misplaced if I can castle. Like, bishop d6 castles, then all of a sudden bishop g4 threatens to trap the queen. Bro could be in a lot of danger. There. That's a bad move. Y'all already know. I'm just not going to take the pawn. Bishop c5 is the classic way to deal with it. Bishop d6 also takes. We castle. Threatening bishop g4. He plays h3. We could play knight g4. We could also play bishop g4. This is a bananas. Queen a5 is another pretty funny move, just pinning them. Yeah, this is strange. Bishop e7 also takes bishop g4. No, that doesn't work yet. Bishop d6 takes... I'm wondering, we castle... Threatening bishop g4 there. They play h3. We play queen d7. That looks bizarre. I'm not sure what's happening there. I think I have a lot of chances, but it's just a mess. Bishop c5 is the classic way to respond to this, because bishop takes, knight c3. I could never be worse there with the bishop in the treehouse. But at the same time, man, the allure of bishop d6, yeah. Its luster is irresistible. I just have to go for it. Takes, we're going to castle h3. Maybe I could try h5 there. That looks really messy, though. Bishop f4. I'm not sure what that move does. We'll just castle here. Yeah, if he wants to take, I'll just take back. Not a problem. Okay. Is he going to take on d4 now? The nice thing is now that he doesn't have a dark-scored bishop, queen b6 is going to start picking up apples. Bro's going to be in a lot of trouble after queen b6. All right. Yeah, say no more, queen b6. Lots of pressure here. Man probably has to try rook e2. Rook e2, we're going to play rook c8. He's stuck. Look, I love this about bird's defense. You just get so many pawns so far in their position. It's beautiful. Rook e2, we'll play rook c8. How is he going to unwind there? If they play knight d2, we scoop on b2. What is man going to do? Meanwhile, if he takes, I have rook c1 check, king h2, knight g4, takes, rook h6, king g3. I must have a mate there. There must be some type of checkmate. Maybe there isn't. Maybe I should throw in queen d6 first. Yeah, queen d6, queen g3, then rook h6 is mate. All right, we'll play rook c8 here. I mean, we're waiting here. What is bro doing? What is bro thinking about? We got to go. It's literally time to go. Rook c2, okay. Knight e4 looks really interesting. No, like, I don't even know what knight e4 does, but it just looks so interesting. I really want to go for it. Like, knight e4 takes. Is there some tactic there? Queen takes e4. We take on a2. They take. Queen b3. That almost works. Honestly, these tactics are close to working. Like, knight e4. I just need to make sure if knight d2 we could take. Yeah, takes looks winning, because takes we have knight takes e3. That should be winning. Knight e4, takes. I really want to go for that. Takes. My pieces are so active there. If queen takes, we have bishop takes a2, rook takes, and rook e6 at least, with ideas of rook e1. Like rook e6, he plays queen f5, we throw in a check, he goes he goes king h2, we throw in another check. That's so close to working. No, we'll throw in this check here, and at least I can take on b1. Yeah, that... Is there anything better than knight e4? Knight e4 looks so good, though. Another good move would be knight d7 here to play knight e5. That looks more standard. I think I really want to go... I really want to... You know, guys, you know me. I'm all about the spectacle. Yeah, let's play knight e4. I don't know if this works or not. Knight d7 might have been better. This is a bird's defense game, so we're definitely going to analyze this. It just looks too cool for school. We got to go for it. Knight d7 would have probably been much simpler. Definitely, actually. Like, knight d7, we're just trying to strike at d3 too soon. Knight d2, knight e5, queen e2. I take on h3. That also looks very promising, but maybe my knight is also hanging there. That's not simple either. Maybe we would play queen d6 there. Dude is in a lot of trouble here, though. What's bro thinking about? Takes, queen takes, bishop takes a2. I'm assuming he's going to take back with the rook there. He could also just play knight d2 to try to catch up in development. Yeah, that's actually not a clear position at all. This is very unclear. Takes, takes, queen takes. I could also play bishop takes h3. Yeah, this is strange. Bishop takes h3. If they play the f pawn out, I play d3 check. All right, we're going to take back. He takes there. What is he doing? He's just trying to get... Yeah, that's definitely not going to work. This is really cool. Look at this. I think we take here with check. Yeah, this is just the end of the game. Queen g6 is going to end it. Yeah, that's surprising, honestly, that he would play that. If he plays king f1, queen b5, yeah, queen b5 is simplest. No, queen b5, he plays c4. We could play rook g1 takes and then queen g6 and go for mate. Queen g6 definitely looks simplest, though. Queen g6, we're attacking this. We're also threatening rook g1. He plays bishop g4. We have queen d3 there. All right, if I just take on c2, yeah, this is just over. Rook g1 is going to be mate next. I guess he has knight d2. Nice, that was a good game. Maybe my knight e4 got a brilliant. It either got a brilliant or a very bad move. Interesting. I was -2. Maybe knight e4 was a mistake. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's look at this game. So we got bird's defense here. Classic bird's defense. I love this position so much with rook a6. And you transfer your rook over. Yeah, you have to transfer your rook over. Computer saying bishop e7 is slightly better. I don't care what the computer says. We want to put the bishop on d6 here. We need to get the rook over to the right side before we play bishop d6. So rook d6 makes perfect sense. Chess.com, their computer can think whatever it wants. I'm going to be living here in reality where the rook is better on the right side of the bishop. Apparently I already made a mistake here. Apparently knight f6. Interesting. Yeah, knight f6, and we're going to threaten bishop g4. If check, what's the problem here? Check, bishop e7. Interesting. And why is this so bad? Well, bishop f4, we're going to play bishop g4, queen g3. Oh, look at that. That is nice. Look at that. They're just losing material there. I never would have assumed that this is that bad, though. Like, if they play queen f4 here, what's the problem? We're just going to castle? Interesting. Look at that. We're just going to sacrifice the pawn, and we have so much initiative here. I would have assumed bishop h3 here. Computer's pointing out something way better, though. We should get the bishop to this diagonal. And we can really appreciate this a-pawn now. He can't stop bishop c5 with b4 because we're just going to take and then play bishop c5 anyway. Queen f4, knight g4. Yeah, this is a disaster. Look at this. Bishop h3 is even better, computer is saying. Yeah, this is mind-blowing. g3, knight g4. We're threatening f2, threatening rook f6. The white queen is certainly in the dragon's den at this point. All right, so I just made a mistake here. I just choked and played bishop e6. I'll give you guys a grandmaster's perspective. In this position, I just saw this and I assumed, oh, like this should be okay for black, but this is too defensive a move to be playing aggressively for an initiative. But yeah, it just turns out that their queen is still so misplaced. Like if they play knight d2, what do? We just castle here. We're threatening bishop g4 and bishop d6. Interesting. And if they play queen f4 here, bishop d6 takes, rook g4. Yeah, look at this. This is just a mind-blowing initiative. If queen e3, I would assume rook e8. Yeah, rook e8 and we're winning material. What are they going to do otherwise? If they play queen c3, then what? d4, queen c4, queen d7. Oh, that's mind-blowing. Look at this, guys. We're going to take on g2 and play queen h3 with mate. They have to play, if they play g3, I bet we play rook h4. Okay, so b5 is actually even better. b5 just traps the queen. That's a nice idea. But yeah, rook h4 also actually works. Look at this. Takes, and then do we take on h2, or we play queen g4, king h1, and take on h4? And yeah, there's just too much pressure here. This pawn serves as a perfect impediment to keep white's pieces from, especially his queen, from getting back to the action. This is such a nice position. All right. So in the game, I completely missed that. I'm definitely going to remember that for the future. And you guys definitely should too. This is a position that if you play bird's defense, you're definitely going to get a lot of this. You're definitely going to get this position quite a bit. If you know what to do and if you remember that you can play a5 in that position and get the interesting Christmas tree. All right, so rook e1, knight f6, all this is fine. Bishop d6 is best, perfect. Normally when they play c3, bishop c5 is correct, just to get ready to take back with your bishop and keep your bishop in the treehouse. But even so, you know, we have so many pieces parting on the king side here. The rook is transferred here already. So we have such a natural, we have such an inherent superiority of pieces over on the king side that this just makes the most sense. Bishop d6, bishop f4, castled here, takes, h3. Yeah, this is a big mistake. Yeah, what should he do here? If he takes, I would play queen b6. This is still very uncomfortable, though. I was looking at this. Like, knight c3, I could even take here. He takes back, and I take here. His knight is trapped already. He's in a lot of trouble. Bishop b3 and b5, and I'm winning the knight. Notice that because there's no dark squared bishop on the board, my queen is actually very healthy on the treehouse. That's definitely not by accident either. Treehouse is a great square for many pieces. Okay, queen d6, h3, queen b6. This is a classic idea, by the way. So definitely, guys, if you have your notebooks out, make sure to take some notes because, yeah, you get your pawns on a4 and d4 in the bird's defense. Queen b6 is going to be a very nice way to pressure this pawn. There's pretty much no way to solve this because normally when your pawn is on a4, you've pushed their bishop back. So they really have almost no solution here, right? If, like, even if their pawn were back on c2, if they were to play b3, that would be shuttering in their bishop completely, and it would be making the c pawn into something even weaker and more vulnerable to pressure via rook c8. All right, rook e2. I played rook c8. Man played rook c2. Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble here. This was a cool line that I was looking at. Here, check. Here, check. And yeah, we just throw in queen d6 here. I thought queen d6 was better. Apparently rook check is better. And then what's the answer here? Is it queen d8? Yeah, queen d8 makes a lot of sense. Queen h4 is unstoppable. At the very least, we're going to play queen h4, push the king out, and at least get rook f6 and win the queen. But probably that's just going to be mate. Yeah, something like this. Check here. Where's the mate here? If bro plays king e3, we have queen g5, queen f4, and this is mate. Otherwise, king e5. Where's the mate here? Check. King d6. Where's the mate? Check. King e7. Ooh, look at this. Takes in here and then mate. All right. This was nice. I was so focused on queen d6 here because queen g3, we have rook h6, and this is mate. But apparently here he could play rook e... What? Oh, rook e5. Yeah, I forgot. The pawn is protecting it. Yeah, no, this doesn't work now. All right. Never mind. So, okay, anyway. Long story short, what happened here, he played... So anyway, he played rook c2. Is knight e4 good? Wow, this is a blunder. I thought this was brilliant. h6, what does it... Now, what does h6 do? What does h6 possibly do? What is the idea here? Knight d2, we play queen d6. That's too good. I don't understand that, honestly. That's brilliant, honestly. Look at this. The whole idea of this, I think, is that we're just pressuring a3. We're just going to take and play queen takes a3. He has nothing to do. If his rook moves to e1, we just take and take on a3, and we're just up a full pawn here. We have great pressure on c3. We also have pressure on this bishop, which is becoming a really uncomfortable, yeah, coming in under a lot of pressure here. Doesn't have a pawn supporting it, has to be a liability for the rook to protect it. There are a lot of positions where the bishop could easily be lost here once the rooks get traded. Yeah, okay, that's mind-blowing. Yeah, truth be told, if I were to be doing a hypothetical course on bird's defense, I still have not done the part yet on bird's defense. So my bird's defense knowledge is ultimately only at like 5% of what it's going to be over the next few months. Hypothetically. Anyway, I played knight e4, computer saying it's a mistake. My idea here was takes, takes, queen takes, bishop takes a2, he takes with the rook, and I'm going to play rook e6 here. Computer's saying, oh, he takes on d4? Oh, I completely missed that. I was assuming he had to move his queen. I thought he was going to play something like here, and then we're throwing a check. We'll throw in another check, and I'll have stuff like queen c6 here, threatening mate. He has to play f3. I can get this knight back whenever I want, and whenever I win this knight back, he's still going to be playing down a rook. His king is going to be exposed. His king is going to be compromised. Stuff like this should be completely winning. Same with f4. If f4, I should play something like g6, get a tempo on the queen. Queen goes back. We take this. He's still playing down a rook. This should be winning. It's just very tricky, but yeah, I'm sort of shocked that the computer isn't saying this is winning. I would assume it's winning. Oh, computer's pointing out that I could just take on f4 here, though, because g3, where's the knockout punch here? Queen e3. Look at that. Queen e3. Threatening mate on g1. Bro should take. We take back. We're dominating the knight. If the knight comes out, then we check and take this way. Yeah, this is completely hopeless for him. All right. Anyway, though, apparently, yeah, I just missed that he has c takes d4 here, which saves the day completely. He's threatening mate. We have no time to take the queen. We're getting mated here. In this position already, like, yeah, after c takes d4, where's the draw? I guess I have to take here. I should play rook d8. Interesting. Queen d3, and then we're going to get a check. Because he's already gotten the c takes d move in, his pieces are so much less precarious than before. And this should be okay for him. Like, now in these positions, he can also block this with queen g3. And he doesn't have to push any pawns, weakening his king's position. All right. Anyway, man just Yeah, man just panicked, took here, and this is just the end of the game. I just take the queen, I take this. It doesn't matter that technically he's up material. His king is way too weak. I have a queen and rook on the board. I also have a pawn digging into some important squares, and his pieces are nowhere close to being properly coordinated to resist an attack. Like maybe in this type of structure, if he had a knight on g3, rooks on the E and D file, and this bishop well placed somewhere like g4 where it's not going to be harassed, then he would have good play. But here his pieces are way too discoordinated, way too undeveloped. He should be completely lost here. Queen g6, threatening queen d3, threatening rook g1. The game is just over. I took on c2, and rook g1 is unstoppable. Something like knight d2, check here, and he's getting mated.
It's time to go!